You came to fight, but you'll be running for your life. We don't take prisoners, we don't take names. God as my witness will take you to the grave. This is our kingdom. This is our kingdom. This is our kingdom. This is our kingdom. This is our king. This is our king. This is our kingdom. Blood in the water, just getting started. I see the fear behind your eyes. Nowhere for you to go, nowhere to run and hide. This is our kingdom.
Hey, I'm Chris. This is photography. Today's episode is all about the dark current. The dark current is multifaceted. There's many layers. In particular, this frozen St. Lawrence River. I just got back off the ice. Before you think this is a video about wildlife photography, it's not. If you're a photographer, you might want to stick around. This is a story about how I got my digital photography into a fine art gallery.
This is our territory. This is our kingdom. Kingdom.
An Anuktuk with an A, not a U. That's a rock poking out of the ice in Inuit or Inuit language. They form because on this river, the fluctuating water level moves the ice up and down, smashing these rocks and giving lots of critters access to the water below. The dark current. If you Google the dark current, the first return will probably be a charged coupled device, a photodiode. The current that's generated in the absence of visible light. Not coincidentally, this is called noise. We have many ways of dealing with that in digital photography. In emulsion photography, utilizing silver halides, the dark current is what gives rise to the fogging we see in color and black and white negatives over long-term storage. It's not the noise or the deterioration that you see in JPEGs, or at least the first generation of JPEGs. That's a result of generational loss from the 8x8 pixel compression that occurs each time a JPEG is copied. JPEG 2000 and JPEG XL have apparently corrected that issue, but they haven't been adopted widely by the brand name photographic community, so the JPEGs that you're shooting are the old JPEGs. They are not the new JPEG XLs unless you have a program that specifically converts them. All good stories have layers, just like all good photographs. The layers that I'm referring to are the layers in the dark current. The dark current of the universe. From galaxies to solar systems to planets to rocks to ecology. Everything's layered, including your mind. So too should your photographs be layered. If you're an artist and you want to communicate the observations that you make while you're swimming in that dark current. The dark current is what got me considered and accepted by a fine art gallery recently. Because today's topic is all about focus. My journal. If you're a regular viewer, you know I keep a journal. It's how I feed my creative imagination. This is a new volume, first of this year. Cover page is a photograph from last year's ice series, which I am continuing this year. That is just a simple rock, shrouded in bubbles, ascending bubbles. The rock itself is not truly emerged or submerged, but rather stuck in the ice, which was not ice when the rock went in. It was Winterwatten, which is that state of water between ice and liquid. Some would call it slush, but it's not actually slush. That is in fact a floating rock. That's right, one of my digital photographs has been accepted and will be hanging alongside dichromates, gum dichromates, silver gelatin, wet emulsion, all of the goodies. The reason that my digital photography was accepted is because I swim in the dark current. And the judges could clearly see that. What do I mean by swimming in the dark current? I've alluded to it before. It's your mind, more specifically, your visual cortex and how it processes visual elements of your perceptions and communicates them to the other areas of your brain. One of the techniques I use is this simple thing, a book, a journal. I keep one every year in volumes. These last about 3 months, these particular ones. When I started this brand new one for the year, I put in place this cover page. This photograph is called Stopped Motion. It's what I excavated from my subconscious while reading my journal. I utilized a technique, a Gestalt technique, that you may be using yourself without knowing the name. You may be using something called leading lines, the law of common fate. When two or more objects are perceived to be moving in the same direction or pointed in the same direction, this triggers another element of your mind. What I did with this specific photograph was find the subject that was displaying the elements of the law of common fate. I'll give you the good representation of the black and white image that's in the gallery here, not this bad reprint that I put in my journal. A current is not an amorphous thing. It's composed of many segments, layers. In water, for instance, the current along the shore and at the bottom is slower. The current behind and adjacent to obstructions is turbulent. The current in the middle and towards the surface is fastest and smoothest, laminar. If you compose your photographs with these elements in mind, you'll achieve a layering that I was able to achieve and accurately communicate to 3 judges with fine art pedigrees. And in case you're wondering, a fine art pedigree means someone who is experienced in criticism as well as appreciation and production and the historical context of a style, a format, or anything. Digital and traditional emulsion techniques of photography are not different. The physics is identical. I challenge you to prove otherwise. In this coming exhibit, which opens on the end of the month, I'm anticipating having challenges. People describing my digital photography as not enough.
if it hadn't been for those meddling kids.
Hey friends. I had to leave the creek. It's a little too cold down there. And I got what I went there for. I'm cruising the river. We had more snow. Sitting on top of the ice now, so we have a beautiful slush layer which you cannot traverse. And the entire community is out here at one of our toboggan hills. So I thought I'd come out here in this spherical fruit of the universe of golden light. 2:30, another hour and a half, and see if I can't capture some memorable moments. Some people flying through the air, families rejoicing, runny noses, that sort of thing. Sitting here contemplating how many of these people will end up at the gallery that accepted my work. Quite the coup. It'll be interesting. Unfortunately, it's still something in a lot of circles, let's say, within the art community, fighting against us digital photographers. The legacy of toxicity related to photography is not inconsequential. It still isn't, by the way. I know, I worked 2 years running a line camera in a commercial graphic arts studio, a 2-room camera. If you have ever seen one, it's quite the operation. Interacting with artists, reproducing their work, shooting separation layers for color printing, all of that sort of fun stuff. Stench still haunts my mind at times. I prefer digital photography, and there is no difference. Now I get to hang on a wall beside traditional photographers and present my craft against theirs. Probably your craft too. Swim against the dark current. I'm gonna get to shooting some of this. The otters weren't at my other site, so I'll focus on these mammals for the time being.